Rise and shine, my health warriors. Hear the drummer get wicked! So that comes from Def Comedy Jam back in my high school days, back in the early 90s. And Martin Lawrence and Bill Bellamy used to be on there. So my friends and I used to joke around about it. I used to do that. And they're like, how'd you do that? You sound just like them. It was a DJ, and it used to be a mix before the comedians came on, and hear the drummer get wicked! So I do that. Sometimes my friends would leave me messages if I didn't answer back when I was in high school or when I had a first cell phone. And every once in a while when I get back in touch with them, I say that to them, they say that to me, and we laugh about it. So today I want to talk about some books that made a big difference in my journey to being passionate about food and agriculture and culture in general, different cultures around the world. So the Okinawans have been studied for decades. They're not quite as healthy as they used to be. I think Japan now passed them, and Iceland in terms of the healthiest people on the planet. But they used to be the healthiest people, I think about 12, 14 years ago. They're starting to adapt our Western diet and many of the cultures there. But many of them look forward to getting older. And when you get older, over 65, 70, you get gray hair. It's usually a sign of wisdom in a lot of their culture. But so the first book I recommend is Okinawan Program. So they studied, Western and Canadian scientists studied, they actually had a translator too there because they don't speak Japanese there. It's a different dialect. So the Okinawan Program is a book I recommend. Also a book on music and sound called The Mozart Effect, named after, Mozart, the composer. So Mozart Effect is a fascinating book. It goes through different cultures and tribes, and I think the Khoisans and different shamans and different cultures. And there was a gentleman that designed in California and Colorado back in the early 2000s, I think. He designed music for different floors of the hospitals. Like in the recovery ward for cancer and especially heart disease, they would have classical music playing because science shows that classical music is one of the most healing forms of music. And then in the waiting room, it'd be a little bit jazz, or normal part of the hospital would be jazz. Other parts where people are trying to heal would be playing more classical or more light jazz, things like that. Not a lot of vocals typically in cancer wards, things like that, or oncology or in heart cardiovascular units. So that's the second book, The Mozart Effect. You can buy these on Amazon, or you can get them at your local library. You know all these things, Kindle, ebooks. Go through your library, you can get ebooks, you can do Hoopla, Canopy. Number 3 is The World's Healthiest Foods. It's a thick book. I think it's like 750, 800 pages. Let me show you what it looks like here. Let's go around here. So this is what it looks like. Let me turn this around here and show you. So there you go. The World's Healthiest Book. The foods, World's Healthiest Foods. So the next book on my list is a book that I read about 5 or 6 years ago, and that's called Pharmacology. And it's spelled F-A-R-M, like farm. It's written by Daphne Miller. I went to a conference on soil in Boulder, 2018, I believe. Fascinating book, how people are, restoring their soil in their gardens and in their small farms very quickly. Usually they say it takes like decades to regenerate your soil. They're doing it in a matter of 1 to 2 years, or sometimes less if it's a garden. Not total restoration, but major restoration. Next book is The Blue Zone: Secret for Living a Longer Life. And recent book I haven't read yet, but I highly I've listened to Casey Means on Rogan for about 20 minutes, and he and his sister is Casey. His sister is Casey, and then Callie is her brother. And anyway, so she's a medical doctor, went to Stanford. She does functional medicine, which is a game changer for medicine. Dr. Mark Hyman tried to introduce and lobby for functional medicine, tries to get to the root cause. Now, all functional medicine doctors are a little bit different, and there are functional medicine practitioners, which is a little bit different, but they run scientific studies to show what's going on within your, methylation, If you have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth in your small intestine, take a look at your bacteria by doing a GI gut, gut test, comprehensive gut test. Just seeing where they run urine tests, blood tests. So that's called Good Energy by Dr. Casey Means. She's on Joe Rogan. Any books on Paul Stamets, on mycelium mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, I recommend those. I should have probably written that down, but I'll maybe mention it later on. But he's got several books, 3 or 4 books on that. He's one of the leading mycologists in the world. Mushrooms are, we actually have more genetic code that are similar to fungi or mushrooms, mycelium than pretty much any plant. Or any other substance. Our DNA is very similar to mushrooms, mycelium, fungi. So those are the 6 books I recommend, plus the additional Paul Stamets book. And again, today I'm doing my morning, I guess you'd say ritual, drinking the hot chocolate. Bam, there it is. So I hope you have a wonderful day out there in this world. And my health warriors, it takes, you have to be a warrior. It takes courage to go against the grain, meaning do things that are different. Most people get sick and they just follow whatever they're being told. Excuse me. Whatever they're being told by, different people that they're working with. Again, we have the best acute medicine in the world, emergency medicine, but I'm just being honest, our long-term chronic health treatment is maybe a D at best. We have a lot to learn. Medical doctors probably need to go back and learn more about nutrition and other things. They're valuable in our society, they're very important, but they're just not able to get under this health epidemic we're facing the last 20 plus years. So be brave, find guidance, find your own truth. Don't believe everything I say. I'm just sharing you with my actual experience. Your experience may be different, but have a blessed day, and here's the outro. Hear the drum get wicked!